What's going on, everybody? Sunday came really quick and I did less videos than I thought I was going to do this week. Trying to do dailies, but as always, it is a little bit harder when you're trying to do dailies and do things that are a little bit more difficult. So I thought I'd do the live stream today as my birthday live stream since today is my birthday. So yeah, I guess we'll wait for some homies to get in here and see what's really going on. What questions you guys got for me today? 11 people. What's really going on here? Happy birthday from Phoenix. What is going on? So yeah, I was thinking that I was gonna have the brake lines by now. So what I'm trying to do, I was trying to take the Magnum to Sacramento for New Year's, but I don't know if I'm gonna have the brake lines in time. I haven't received a tracking number or anything. I thought they were gonna be here by now. So hopefully, I guess we'll see what happens. If not, I think the next thing I'm going to try to do is finish the Hellcat up this week, just because I really don't have much to do on the Magnum. I'm kind of working on the mid wing off and on, but you know that does take a lot of time sculpting and doing all kinds of stuff like that. So that video is going to be a long video. It'll probably be over the course of a week because you know you have to wait for everything to dry before you can sand on it, and then you have to add some more to sculpt and stuff like that. So hopefully maybe we'll get the Hellcat stuff painted today and tomorrow, or maybe sometime this week, and just kind of go from there. Hopefully, I don't know, I guess we'll see. Christmas is just around the corner, so I'm not exactly sure what's going to happen, and I really want to make it out to California for New Year's, but that might not happen either. So just kind of depends. Let's see what's going on. Was everything plug and play with the Magnum suspension and undercarriage? If you watch the videos, it's pretty obvious. I mean, everything just bolts right in. What's news on the V70R? So I need to probably order some stuff for it. I don't know. I need to reseal the transmission and the center diff, and then I could probably bring the V70R over, put the new engine, new manual tranny, center diff, and all that stuff. I may need to pull the rear end from the S60R because it was a manual. I'm not exactly sure if they're different gear ratios, but I need to figure that out before I try to drive it down the road and find out that it's different. But I'll probably do some V70R stuff soon, I guess. It's just, we'll see what happens. I get on this thing where I start searching, like when I like the Magnum, it's like in this stagnant spot where I don't have the brake line, so I can't put the rest of the stuff back together. And I'm kind of doing the mid wing where it's taking a lot of time. So then I'm like searching Craigslist for like other stuff, and then I get distracted. So I probably need to stop doing that. And let's see. Ricer Miata purposely dropping a car after you dropped the Magnum. I don't know. I didn't see that. I mean, that's, who knows? Let's see. See if the Chrysler 300 from a 2011 are useful because they have sensors. I don't know. I haven't tried them yet. Get a key car to restore. I can't even fit in a key car. I try to go into or I try to get into a cappuccino, and that's not happening. So I don't think I'll ever own a key car. Let's see. Am I going to swap over all the modules from the S60R to the V70R? Yeah, that was the original plan. I'm just going to use everything from the S60R, the modules, the gauge cluster, all the wiring, so I really don't have to mess with, you know, the whole issue with the manual stuff not working in there and then having to reprogram modules. So if I just throw all the modules in there in the wiring, I should just, you know, be just like it came out of the S60R. I may have to run a few wires maybe to for the rear brake lights, but I don't think I will. I'm not exactly sure yet because I haven't actually done it. So I guess that'll be the next kind of swap thing that's unknown. Let's see. Let's see. A Chrysler Sirius. I don't even know what that is. Stoked for the V70R. I'm stoked for it too. I really like Volvos. Yeah, I get another Magnum. So I haven't heard back from that guy. Probably should message him. It's been a week, I guess. I don't know. I'm sure it usually takes a couple weeks to get a title. So, I mean, I'm not in that big of a hurry to get the other shell. As long as I get it. I mean, when he's ready once he has all the stuff, all the paperwork and everything lined up, I'm not in any rush to have another car. Definitely sitting around. I already have plenty of those. So I also want to pretty much have everything indoors over the summer, just so if I go places, I don't really have to worry about it. And so that's kind of the same reason why I've wanted to kind of liquidate like the G35. I'm parting it out, and that other 240 coupe shell that I got for the front end that was kind of messed up anyway. So I'm just selling that off, and that's like the parts 3000 GTs. Just trying to get rid of a bunch of just random stuff, just so I don't have all this extra stuff that I don't really need. Because at the end of the day, I don't need a bunch of parts cars after the 3000 GT is pretty close to being done, and I have pretty much everything I need for it to be done. So same thing goes with the 240, but I need to find a really clean front from a car that's like hit in the rear so I could fix that car. Let's see, why so what does this say? Why did I not put the wing in the Magnum at the top of the hatch, put it in the middle? I think in the tub is better. Thank you. I don't know what that exactly means, but I wanted a mid wing. One reason to cover the hole for the rear windshield wiper. The other reason, the camera, I'm thinking if it's up on the top wing, and I'm going to make the top wing longer anyway, but I feel like if the camera's up on the top wing, it'll be too high to actually see anything. I think the mid wing is pretty much the exact spot that it would be on the trunk anyway. So it'll give me almost the same visibility and everything with the parking sensors, and when you turn the wheel and everything, you'll be able to see pretty much the same exact thing you would see with when it was stock in the Challenger or the Charger. So you won't have to worry if you turn and then it's you want everything to kind of be similar, so you're not going to back into something because the camera is not seeing something because it's too high up. So you always want to be able to see kind of the back of the bumper in the camera. If you've never noticed that, if you look in your reverse camera, you can kind of see the edge of the bumper. That's kind of what I'm going for with the mid wing. But also the mid wing kind of makes it look a little bit more aggressive down the side of the car, and then it also will add a little bit of downforce on the edge. So and then once I do the top wing a little bit longer, I just think it'll look a lot better. I just like the idea of mid wings ever since like Imprezas, like the Wagon Imprezas. I just love the look of the mid wing on them, and then the top wing. So let's see. Why don't I work in the shop with Trevor anymore? Because I'm too busy doing my own channel, trying to grow it instead. Need a burnout video. I kind of did a burnout in the Hellcat today. It was just it wasn't like a burnout. It's just like that thing literally, if you hold the brake and barely touch the gas, it starts to break the tires loose. So it's just to make my mom kind of mad. But let's see. Let's see. You have a S40 and C30 R design. C30 R designs are pretty interesting cars. They're kind of a weird little hatchback, but yeah, I do like. There isn't a lot of Volvo content, but there isn't a lot of people that really get Volvos. I think a lot of people think Volvos are like these big pieces of shit, and at the end of the day, if you take care of them, they're a really great car, and they're really strong. If you ever get in a wreck in a Volvo, whatever you hit is usually going to lose, unless it's like a semi or like a Volkswagen Beetle. I seen a Volkswagen Beetle that like a Chrysler 300 hit, and the Beetle barely looked damaged. They like head on, and the Chrysler 300 was just destroyed. So, um, yeah, don't run into any Volkswagen Beetles. Going to rebuild the '08. So on the Magnum, I'm gonna use the '08 front for now. Eventually, I want to do the Charger front, the newer Charger front, Charger slash Charger Hellcat front, and that'll be down the road once I figure out what I'm going to do with the body and painting and everything like that. But I've pretty much said it before. I really like the new fronts compared to the '08, but for the kind of the sake of being funny, because the '08 just kind of makes the car look older and people won't expect it, and then it'll have the 6.4 in it. So for the time being, I'll just use the '08 front. It looks decent. It has its flaws, but I mean for what it is, it'll be perfect. There's there's no such thing as an almost burnout. I mean, I feel like chirping the tires is like an almost burnout. What what made me want to build the Magnum in the direction versus just get a 6.1? So the reason I got the Magnum in the first place is if I didn't get the Magnum, I would have had to pretty much buy a whole nother Challenger that was wrecked in the front so I could use all the rear stuff, or wrecked in the side almost. It's just so I could use all the rear and the front stuff to fix that Challenger. And then it just would have been like I would have had more parts on top of that. And I thought the best route would just be to swap all the stuff from the Challenger into something like a wagon, like the Magnum, that really doesn't get much notice on the internet. And I mean, people like them, but at the end of the day, it's almost like one of those cars that kind of gets overlooked. It's like a car that could be really cool if Dodge wanted it to be cool, but they have all these financial analysts that are, you know, saying that these cars aren't going to make money, so they just kill the line. I feel like a newer Dodge Magnum would sell a lot of units. I mean, if you think all the different drivetrain options that they have now, if you put the V6 in there, the newer V6s aren't that bad. They have three different V8s. So I mean, you could have just as many options as the Charger in a Magnum, and I'm sure people would buy them, and they would be like almost the same price point because you're not really changing that much. I mean, they've already make a Charger. It's not that much difficult. That it's not that much more difficult to turn that Charger into a Magnum, and it would just be so sick. I mean, people, I feel like there's so many people that watch the video and they're so pumped about it. And I feel like maybe, I'd say maybe 1 or 2% of those people would probably go and buy one of those cars. And I mean, that's quite a few people. So I don't know. I feel like eventually maybe Dodge will catch on. I guess we'll see. Tires are expensive. They're actually not that bad. So the funny thing about the Hellcat is the tires all the way around it are 305s, and if you go to buy 305s, they're in Nittos, they're like, I think they're like $400 a piece. But if you go to buy 315s, they're the same price as the Nittos on the FD on the 18s, and I think they're like $200 a piece. So when I have to order tires, I'll probably order some 315s instead of 305s, and it must just be because that they make more 315s than 305s. I'm not exactly sure, but yeah, that's what's going to happen. A little bit bigger, and they fit. On turning 39, damn, man, I'm not that old. Only Volvos you like are the old 240s. I mean, those are just like, they're all right. The turbo ones were all right, but they're just like so boxy. Use an AMC with a Hemi. Man, that'd be a DeLorean that would get up to 88 miles an hour. Let's see. What can we inspect? Oh, what can we expect in 2020? I'm not exactly sure yet. Which way I'm going with the channel. I'm not sure if I want to. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens. I mean, we only have 49 people in here. This is kind of sad. Sad day. Oh, 48, 46. Oh, there we go. But I don't know. Let's see. Let's see. I thought C30s came all-wheel drive. I didn't know that. They're just front-wheel drive. Man, 17 minutes. I feel like this is like the worst live stream I've had in a long time. But I don't know. Maybe I'll go back to the 2020's Dave's new dating series. He'll find a wife. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I'd have to travel some places and figure that out. I don't like the prospects in the town I live in. Stay single. Didn't get a notification. I don't know. It's kind of cool. I mean, it's just funny being a single dude, and most of your friends are in relationships, and like they're all in different stages of relationships. It's kind of funny to just be like, just kind of watch it and just like see what's going on. I mean, like all of them, it's just crazy. All of them are kind of like always getting bitched at, and you just like always hear about it. And they're just like always, like most of them are always mad or something's happening or they're getting in a fight, and you're just sitting here like, man, I wake up at like whenever I want. I go to bed whenever I want. I eat whenever I want. Like I don't have to deal with any shit. And you guys like want me to get in a relationship. It's just like, I mean, it is cool to be in a relationship. I do like the feeling and stuff. I mean, everybody does, but like the whole other part of it where you get like ragged on all the time. I mean, it's just one of those things. Like it's kind of nice being able to do whatever you want at the same time. So I don't know. It would be cool, but I feel just like the whole situation with American women is kind of gone downhill. If I did anything, I'd probably go like to Germany or something, or to like somewhere in Europe, because I'm originally from Europe. So I mean, it's just one of those things. It's a whole different thing. It's just like they understand. Like if you go to work, I've heard so many like of my friends just talking about like their girls just being mad that they have to go to work and they're like working too much and stuff like that. But I've never heard like a European chick be like mad about their man going to work and providing. So I don't know. It's just one of those things. It's kind of scary. I mean, when I was younger, it definitely wasn't as scary because you don't have as much to lose, I guess to say. But it's just like scary when you see all these horror stories and see them for yourself, and then you're like, well, I mean, yeah, my friend like got divorced, and then his girl took him for like everything he was worth, so kind of thing. So like, I mean, I'm like 33 now. Today I'm 33, not 39. Jesus. But I mean, 33 years of me working my ass off. If I like was with a girl for a year and then she took like 75% of my stuff, I'd just be like, I mean, at the end of the day, it's just stuff, but it's just like all that time. And I don't know if I like it. So maybe I'll have to figure something out. I mean, that'd be kind of cool too. The whole dating thing. I mean, I've been thinking about it, but it's been 4 years since I've had a girlfriend. If you guys are wondering, it's been a long time. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know. It's one of those things. Stay single. Snowmobile rebuild. So on that subject, that's kind of funny because I was actually looking at something. So I might be buying a project Snowcat because I think they're kind of cool. I've never seen anybody fix one up, and I don't know, it'd be kind of cool to have like something that's kind of similar to a tank, because I was like looking at tanks a couple days ago and I was like, man, I wish I could buy a tank, because all the cool tanks that you could buy seems like they're in like Europe and Russia and stuff like that. And I mean, it'd be cool to have a tank. I feel like it'd be really cool to have a tank because you could park in your driveway and then your neighbors would be like, that dude has a tank. So I don't know, maybe I'm just weird, but I feel like, I don't know, I kind of would like to drive a tank around. That'd be kind of cool. And I live like kind of in the country, so that'd be a possibility, because a lot of the roads are dirt, so I wouldn't be messing anything up. I don't know if that's a weird dream to have a tank, but there's some cool tanks. Build a hot rod next. Ooh. I thought Trevor was using your 2J for the Mustang. So Trevor was just using my 2J for the mock-up because it doesn't actually run. So it was a good 2J, but then he ended up using the bottom end for the black S14 giveaway car. So the bottom end that's on it now is that one from that car that ate the ceramic turbine wheel. So technically, I mean, we need to do some trading around and stuff. He's supposed to buy me some pistons and stuff like that, so that block is good again. But you know, since it's sitting there, it has a rear sump pan. I think he's going to use my rear sump pan, and then he's going to get me another one if I end up needing one. But you know, it's just sitting there. I mean, I don't have an issue with him using it or anything like that, especially to do the Mustang and get it done, because he wants to get that stuff. He needs to get it done, I think, by like the second week of the first of the year. So, I mean, there's not that big of a deal. So that should be getting done pretty quick, which is cool. Let's see. Been married 20 years. It's great. Need the right person. Yeah, I mean, if you find the right person, I understand. Let's see. Want to see a Chrysler 300 build. Mail order bride. I don't know if I'd ever do that. Stay single. It's less hassle. 2008 300. There's crazies all over the world. uh, so so somebody said if I can fix the cars, I can fix the lift. So that lift, I found out. So my old boss was kind of talking shit one day, and we're sitting up front, and then there's a guy from another shop over. We're just BSing, and I guess that lift came from the old Ford dealership that was downtown here, and they had like 8 of them. And so he was talking shit about my car falling off the lift, how I didn't know how to like put the pads or something on there. And the guy, the other mechanic dude that has a shop downtown, he was like, "Oh, that's one of the lifts from the old Ford dealership." He's like, "Yeah, I've known a few people that had those, and they have had cars fall off of them." And he's like, "Yeah, when they had them at Ford, they had cars fall off of them." So I guess they're just like really bad lifts. So I don't plan on using the lift anymore. I mean, if I do use it, I'm going to use it very low, but I mean, I don't think there's much I could do. I might try to tighten the bolts on the bottom, see if that helps any, but I don't know. I'm just kind of sketched out about it. I don't want to really deal with it. I'm kind of over it. I just need to probably buy a lift, figure out what I'm going to do about a whole shop situation. Maybe 2020, I don't know. I don't really want to promise anything. I really want to get my own spot, like house-wise again, and with a shop and everything on it. So I might, maybe in 2020, maybe by the end of 2020, depending on how good YouTube's doing and everything. If it picks up, or if I get like another day job again, like I had before, maybe, I don't know, maybe I'll do a giveaway on something, maybe the Hellcat or something like that, just so I can build a house or something like that. So it's just one of those things. I mean, if I have my own spot, I'd put a brand new lift in it and kind of just set everything up really nice. But me just renting a shop, I'm not going to put a brand new lift in it and then have to take it down. And I really don't think that ceiling in that shop that I have right now is high enough to actually put a lift in. And if there's a lift in there, there's not very much room anyway. So I don't really want to put a lift in there to take up all the space. So let's see. Prenuptials. Hi Dave, Merry Christmas from Gary. What is going on? You're right about European women. I mean, I've thought about going to Ireland, and like, man, I have this thing for like redheads. I mean, I think every dude kind of has like this redhead thing, but I mean, it's kind of funny because all the redheads in the US, not all of them, but I'd say a large majority of them are kind of, I'd say, thick. They're like not like the European redheads where they're like really slender, which is what I like. I feel like all the ones in the US are the ones that like kind of got traded for like pigs and stuff back in the 1800s, and they were like traded to like the fat dudes, and then like, you know, now their offspring are kind of thick. But I feel like all the ones in Ireland are kind of like still like the slender ones. So I don't know. I mean, that might be messed up to say, but it's kind of what I like. Try Tinder. How old am I? 30, 33. I think I said 23 earlier. I keep getting it mixed up now. I've never done that, but now it's like this weird number. Get a half track. Happy cake, Dave. I haven't had a cake today. Park the tank outside my grandma's house. My grandma would not care. As long as she didn't get any letters from like the metro or the city, she wouldn't care. That's the only requirement. As long as she doesn't get letters, she doesn't care. But next, Dave fills his tank with concrete and knocks buildings down. Have an Arctic cat. I love it. Don't hardly drive it. 33. Hell yeah. Love the old Mustang at the junkyard. Always in the background. I should build that. So there's not much left to do to it, but it's not mine. And I've already talked to the owner at the junkyard, and I was like, yeah, if you want me to pretty much finish it, because he wants 40 or 45,000 or something for it, and it's worth like 80. But I told him literally if he bought a new hood and some other stuff, that it probably needs like $5,000 worth of stuff, that he had just like split like whatever the difference was with me, and I'd finish it. So I don't think he wants to do that. So there's no reason to really mess with it. I thought about doing a video kind of showing what it is, maybe starting it up. I don't know if it still starts. It should. It has like a brand new engine in it, and kind of just do like a video of, because a lot of people have been asking about it. I think it would be kind of a cool thing, because the car is really nice. It needs a few things. It needs definitely put back together. It definitely needs to be washed. Most of the stuff is interior that it needs to be done. The brakes need to be bled, and the hood, it needs a new hood, and the hood needs to be repainted. And I think part of the quarter needs to be repainted or something, but the paint job is brand new on it. Just the guy that did the bodywork kind of did a crappy job. So maybe one day I'll do a video on it. What is the best turbo brand, and why is it Borg Warner? I wouldn't say Borg Warner is the best, but if we're talking about, I mean, Borg Warner is a pretty good turbocharger. If you're considering the technology and the R&D that they put into the EFR series turbo compared to what Garrett's doing, Garrett's still using all the same technology that they've been using for practically ever. They're just kind of upping the game and changing, turbine stuff, and to make more power and bearings and stuff like that. But they're not really changing what the wheel's made out of, making it lighter or making it really, I don't know, more advanced. They're just kind of giving you more power almost out of the same turbocharger, so they could sell you the same stuff that they've been making forever for like $3,000 instead of, $1,200. So I don't know. I like Borg Warner just because they have kind of advanced the turbocharger technology with their new turbine wheels. I mean, if you've ever held a Garrett turbine wheel next to a similar size Borg Warner exhaust wheel, it's like night and day difference. It's like you're holding a brick and then you're holding a feather. So they're definitely better in their own ways. But I mean, I do like Borg Warners. I can't wait to have the 9180 on the FD, which I was kind of messing with some of the FD stuff today. I was almost thinking about redoing the intake manifold and all this stuff. And then I was like, no, I'll just finish the exhaust manifold and finish some stuff so I can actually drive it again, and then work on that stuff in the background, because I still have the old FD manifold, intake manifold, so I can kind of make flanges off of that, and then while the car still runs, so I don't have it sitting kind of broke down for so long in between. So I don't know. Never wanted to get a Tesla, not about the electric revolution. I mean, if I got a Tesla, it wouldn't be because I'm pretending to save the planet. It would be because Tesla makes cars that are pretty much performance cars. They're like a gas guzzling Hellcat. It's not a fuel efficient, energy saving anything. It's an electric performance car. They do not save energy. They do not protect the planet or help the environment. They're, I mean, Teslas are fast, and they have this big like thing. All these people think that they're saving the environment by driving a Toyota Prius, driving an electric Tesla, driving electric whatever, when all this stuff is powered by coal, and or it's powered by a diesel generator outside the back of the building. So no, if I got a Tesla, it'd be because they're super fast. The P100Ds are like, they're fast. I mean, they'll put you in your seat. It's like nothing you've ever felt before. It's not like a Hellcat. It's like, it feels way faster than a Hellcat when it's on ludicrous mode. So, I mean, if I got one, like I said, it would be because they're fast, not because I think I'm saving the environment one battery charge at a time. So, I mean, maybe some people that watch my videos feel like they're saving the environment, but sorry, that's my look on it. Red hair trading theory. Oh shit. Hey, if you think back in the like 1700s and 1800s, I mean, what do you think? Asians, I would say Asians out of any girl like treat men like the best until like they got you locked down and then they beat you with their sandal and shit. But yeah, they're pretty tight. Oh shit. Uh, that's funny. This guy's like, my daughter is a redhead and single. That's funny. Uh, Turbonetics, man, are they even still in business? Like, who has bought a Turbonetics turbocharger since 2005? I think Turbonetics turbochargers are just like still recirculating. People are like still like trading them for stuff on forums and selling them on forums like used ones. Don't see very many people using electric water pumps. I think I kind of wanted to run an electric water pump on the LS, but I didn't want to like overcomplicate it right away. And I like the idea of electric stuff, like electric power steering, electric water pumps. You're not really taking energy from the crank pulley, but at the same time, the crank pulley is powering the alternator, and then you're powering the other stuff. So one thing I really would like to do is get an electric AC compressor, which they make them now, but they're super expensive. Um, Maybe later down the road they'll be cheaper, but I feel like that's really the only thing that, maybe an electric water pump, but then I feel like they have a shorter lifespan than a normal water pump, and you're not getting very much out of it unless you're doing a rear sump setup or something crazy. I mean, other than that, the benefits of electric over belt driven, I mean, there's probably pros and cons of each. It's just kind of depending on what your setup's going to be. If you're going to have rear mount, I definitely go with electric water pump because you have to push the fluid and you can kind of mount the electric water pumps, or you can have dual electric water pumps. So it's kind of assisting each other. So it just kind of depends on your setup. 700 horsepower all-wheel drive Civic. I don't know if I'm ever gonna do Honda stuff. I was looking into, so before Tavares bought that Lamborghini, that kit car, I'm actually glad that I watched that video because I was gonna buy a Fiero Lamborghini kit car 2 months before that, or a month before that, or something, and I didn't know that they were so short because I could never fit inside of it. but I wanted to get one, finish the conversion because it was half complete, finish the conversion, paint it, get it 100% finished. Then I was going to do the same, almost the same setup Trevor has in his Civic, but not make it all-wheel drive, and have a 700 horsepower K series K24 Lambo killer or something, like Lambo, like kit car Lambo killer, some bullshit like that. But then I was like, do I really want to deal with like all the Civic people comments and stuff like that? Because it seems like once you get into the whole part of YouTube with Honda people, it's just like a whole different thing. It's just like the comments are different, your ad revenue is different. It's just like a like younger demographic that you really, I don't know if it's that much better to be in, that demographic, because you're not really making much, off of ad revenue, because they really don't give you much. You might get more views, but you're not really getting much more at the end of the day. So I don't know. You bypassed my response. We remember you from Intelitech back in the day. I've never went to Intelitech. I mean, I've done some donuts in their parking lot, but I've never gone there. The materials for batteries are strip mined. Lithium's made in like ponds of water, so they just pollute water. Hydrogen fuel cell cars. Well, I mean, where are you getting the hydrogen from? It's just one of those things. You're always sacrificing something for nothing, pretty much, with like vehicles. I mean, the best thing we have going for us is we have an endless supply of petroleum that they don't want you to know that's an endless supply. I mean, I don't want to know. It's funny because they literally go and retap old wells in Canada or off the shores of California or down by Mexico, old wells that they capped off because they ran out of oil. They open them back up and they're full again. I mean, they don't know where the oil is coming from. I mean, they know it came from mass, like biodegradable mass over, time, but I mean, who knows where all that's seeping from to fill those? I mean, are we going to go through oil eventually? Probably, but in the next 1,000 years, I'd probably say probably not. I mean, there's so much of it in the earth. The earth is so big. There's always going to be oil. There's plenty of it in the United States that we haven't even tapped into. There's plenty of it in Dubai, in, the Middle East. It's just one of those things. It's just stupid to be spending all this time, effort, and money to go make some whole totally different thing. Electric cars are cool, but at the end of the day, they're not saving anything. They're just like wind turbines. Don't get me started on the whole wind turbine thing. It's uses so much diesel to produce a wind turbine. They're made out of carbon fiber, they're processed, they're welded, they use electricity. I mean, it's using 10 times, I'm not exactly sure on the number, but it's probably using 10 times or more resources that you'll never get back out of the wind turbine to begin with. But I don't know, just one of those thoughts. Happy birthday. My uncle's was yesterday. Thanks. What would I choose, 1J or 2J? So if I was going to get anything, I'd get a 2J. They're not that much more expensive than a 1J. So I would just go with the 2J. 42-year-old Honda fan fan makes me sad. Most fans are one-eyed. It's just weird though. The whole Honda community. I mean, you get those legit people that are just super down. They literally have, I mean, you could tell who's who when you go to a car meet. You have the people that are super down. They have like pretty legit cars. I mean, they really put time and money in their car. And then you have like the people that watch a bunch of YouTube videos of people doing broke stuff with like cheap everything, and they have like eBay turbo kits. I mean, it's cool for the short period. I mean, it's cool for videos and stuff like that. But then like the whole community's like, oh yeah, I could make a bunch of power with a shitty eBay turbo kit, and then I could rape like an LS or something. And it just kind of brings down the whole community, I think, because then those people don't actually appreciate anything else, and then it's just like, it just irritates me because you try to sell something. You try to sell legit work wheels, and then people are like commenting like, oh, that's too expensive, I can get like knockoffs for like $200 or something like that. It's just, I don't understand it. They don't appreciate the time you spent to work for the money to buy the stuff when you're selling it for way cheaper than it would cost for them to buy it. But then they want to like offer you $200 for like $1,500 set of wheels when the tires on those wheels are like $800. So I don't know. It's just one of those things that irritates me about the whole car community, and it's kind of growing. It feels like it's a cancer, and it's growing because of YouTube. People pretty much do haggard work to do builds quick, and then people that watch those videos see that stuff and they're like, well, I could do that. So they do it, and then they think it's legit, and then they go talk crap about actual like truly legit builds. I mean, it's something that's bothered me for a long time. So they're designing new plastics that don't use fossil fuels. Am I going to make the Wagon a sleeper? So the whole thought behind the Wagon was to make it a sleeper for the time being, but eventually I want to repaint the car, do the new front end and stuff like that. I still even think at that point it'll be a sleeper, but it won't be as much of a sleeper as with the '08 front end on it, kind of looking a little ratty. And I don't think people are going to expect it to have a 6.4 in it. But once they hear the valves open up in the exhaust, it's just going to be like, oh, okay. I was driving the Hellcat around today with the 500 horsepower key. I was like, man, the Wagon is going to be fun with this much power. I mean, it's just going to be so much fun. So I should buy the DSM off of Trevor. So I used to, when I was in college, I forgot what year it was. I had a Talon all-wheel drive turbo, but it was at like 550 horsepower, and I broke a transfer case on it, and then I had Dodge replace it for free, and then I pretty much drove it around for a little bit more, and then it was fully built. It had HKS 272s, fully built head. It had CP pistons, Eagle rods, stock crankshaft. I mean, it was really nice. It had ACD clutch, stock flywheel. The tranny, I rebuilt the tranny, and the transfer case was new. It had HKS exhaust with a blow-through MAF system. But shit, I had that in like 2008, I think. No, 2000. 2009 maybe, 2008 or 9. But I did a ABS delete kit on it, or I made or I didn't make one. I got one off a non-ABS car. Did like a whole write-up on a DSM forum a long time ago for the ABS delete. And then what else? The only bad thing about the car was it was yellow. But after I had the transfer case replaced and then I drove it for a little bit, I pretty much ended up parting the car out, and that was it. So yeah, that's the story of the DSM. I don't know if I really want another Talon. I was kind of looking at some, but if I did get another Talon, I would or Eclipse all-wheel drive, I would probably end up swapping something other into it than the 4G. So I don't know. I'd probably make some people mad. Have I found a new Magnum body yet? I have not. I have, well, I sort of have. I'm just waiting for the guy to get back to me. So we'll see. Merry Christmas, Dave. Enjoy. Thanks. What else do I need to get the Magnum on on the road other than the brake lines? All I need is the brake lines. So I don't know. They'll be here anytime now. I feel like probably the reason they're not here yet is because of the holidays. And once they get here, I'm going to bleed the brakes and drive the thing. I mean, it sounds super, super dope. I can't wait to drive it. So let's see. See, everyone wants to do a legit build and buy really nice stuff, but sometimes they don't have the option. I mean, that's all right, but I mean, at the end of the day, it's the people that know that they like, I don't know. It's one of those, it's just one of those things. It's like, that your stuff's nice, but it's not. I mean, I've been to I've been to car meets with friends, and people are like comparing their knockoff wheels to legit like work wheels, and they're just like, oh yeah, man, I got like, I don't know. It's just, I don't know. I don't know how to explain it. It just bothers me. And take on Adam LZ's Evo in a track battle. I just literally have to have something that ran long enough and didn't break to win. So we'll just go with that. It's great that the folks in the chat have much more knowledge than just cars. Yeah, I like that. I mean, I don't, I like cars, but I also like a slew of other things. I mean, if I ever stopped doing or working on cars, which I mean, I have kind of been thinking about for the longest time, um, I'd probably do something like, I'd probably almost change my channel to like a science channel, because um, I like to do experiments and stuff like that. And I mean, I think it'd be a lot more fun and almost a lot more beneficial, maybe, if I could, get something cool. But right now, just doing cars, I mean, even though I'm doing the Magnum build or doing the Hellcat, I'm not doing anything different than anybody else has ever done before. So it's not like I'm doing anything cool, really. And to me, it's not like I'm doing anything cool. I'm not inventing anything new or anything like that. So at the end of the day, I don't know. I really like the whole, like I've said before, I really like the whole aspect of engineering and kind of creating. But let's see. Am I going to convert the Magnum to manual trans? If it probably didn't have the 8-speed auto in it, I probably would, but since it does, there's no real reason to do that. Junk science, Dave. Oh shit, that's funny. Oh man. Oh yeah. Well, I think I'm probably just gonna go home because I haven't really been hit up by anybody today. So did I notice a jump in views or subs after the Cletus demo drags? No, I don't think I gained one subscriber from that, which wasn't my thought. I didn't do it to gain subs. I knew like I'm not gonna get any shout outs from Cletus. I'm not gonna, you know, I mean, even shout outs, it's funny because people think shout outs are going to do something for you. People pay YouTubers for shout outs. And I mean, the thing is with products like selling the watches or the sunglasses or something like that, when they're promoting a product, it kind of goes over a little bit better. But at the same time, you know, if I was a company, I probably wouldn't really, or if I was like a small YouTuber trying to get ahead, I wouldn't contact anybody. And I really haven't contacted anybody that I was like, well, if you give me a shout out for this. I mean, I did talk to uh, to Adam a long time ago, and I helped him out a few times, and he was supposed to do a shout out, but he never did, and that's why that's why Jimmy did that shout out, but it was kind of like a half-assed one. So I don't know. It's not that big of a deal. It's just, you know, if you're gonna start a YouTube channel, don't expect anybody to give you a shout out, and don't pay for anybody to give you a shout out, because it's at the end of the day, you're not going to gain very many subscribers from it. Especially if somebody even has 2 million subs, you'll be lucky to gain maybe 100 from 2 million. So that's the conversion isn't there. So it's not worth it. Just to let you guys know so you guys don't do it. Think you're doing a good job. Keep up the good work. Thanks, Toby. So it's been almost an hour. I'm going to end the live stream here because I want to go to the shop, sand the Hellcat fenders, and hopefully get them painted soon. So we'll see what ends up happening tonight. Hopefully I can get them painted tonight, maybe tomorrow. I'm not exactly sure, but get them painted nevertheless. So thanks for watching. If I don't think I'm going to have a video out tomorrow because I don't know, maybe I did some stuff, but I don't really think it's really video worthy. So I guess we'll see what happens, but I don't know if I'll have a video out tomorrow. And then Christmas is in 2 days or something like that. 3 days? No, 2 days. 2 days. Christmas is in 2 days. So we'll see what happens, how many videos I have out this week. But I feel like a lot of people are going to be doing Christmas things. So that's what I'm going to be doing. And thanks for watching. See you guys next time.